demo, just really sort of introducing the different features of the web editor. And then we'll spend about 10 minutes after the demo answering any questions that you have. So like Jason said, feel free to pop your questions into the chat area, and he can, kind of read those to me after the demo is complete. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share. And please let me know if you can see this. Awesome. Okay, seeing some thumbs up. That's great. Cool. Let me move this little zoom bar out of the way. Okay. All right, so here we are right inside the Oasis web editor. I'm starting here with a blank template. You guys will have access, as Jason said, to many different templates. For the purpose of this demo, I thought it would be best just to start with a very blank slate. But what I would recommend is when you start getting into the editor, take a look at all of the templates, because there will be some really nice design inspiration there. So you might want to start from one, or you might want to start from a blank template, but at least you can get that, that nice design inspiration from what's available. So starting off, I'm going to take you across this top bar here. We have a drop down right here. You see I'm currently on the home page. And if I hit this, I can see all of the pages that are currently available in this template, and I can very easily click to any of them and edit those when I'm ready to do so. Over here, we have 3 different device views. So every Oasis website is going to be available with a desktop view, a tablet view, and a mobile view. So the design will be optimized for each different device type. What I always recommend is start all of your design in desktop. When you're finished with your desktop design, just go through and make sure that everything looks as you'd like it to on these other 2 devices. And I will, at the end of this demo, I'll show you, what that looks like after we've added some things to the template, and how you can edit by device if you'd like to do that. So moving across here, info and tools. One thing I like to point out here is this preview link. So when you're editing your website, when you're building this out, even before you publish your site, you can always send a preview of your website to whoever you'd like to take a look at it and really just click through everything that you've added to the site. You also can click into preview very easily yourself. So if I were to click this, it would take me into a preview where I can click on anything as I would a normal website. And then I can very easily go back to the editor and continue building out my website. Over here, we have the toolbar, and these are really all of your design elements. So we'll go into this a little bit later, but just to note, this is where you can control your global design. You have some editing page abilities here, and widgets is really the bulk of where you're going to be living when you're designing your websites. So to start off, let's talk about the structure of every template. So the Oasis editor is structured with rows and columns. So here in my blank template, I'm starting off with just 1 row and just 1 column. But if I want, I can very easily add columns to this row. So when I hover here, I see I have 2 columns. Every row I can add up to 4 columns. And in these columns, I can drag different widgets depending on how I want my design to look. So here I'm just dragging a text widget into this column. Maybe I know that I want my text to be a heading 1. I have all sorts of options here in this text editor where I can change the style of the text, I can change the font, and I can change the size or the color. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that pink because that stands out really nicely. So that looks good to me. Eventually I might wanna link this out to something, but I'll take care of that later. And I'm confirming that looks great. So next to this text, maybe I want to add an image. And I am a big fan of birds, so I'm dropping that in there. So when I click out, I've got my image and my text, but let's say I just really want this image to be a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do here, I'm right clicking on that image. I'm going down to edit design. And then I have a couple different places that I can edit the size. So right here, I can drag if I know I just want that to be a little smaller. And then when I go across to spacing, this will allow me to really move this image. And this goes for every widget that you drop into a column, but I can move it to different spots within this row. So I might want to drop this down a little bit. So I'm going to put my, I'm going to select the top of the box, and then I'm going to drag that. So maybe it's a little more centered. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Going to edit the design. I'm going back to spacing. I'm going to click up here and I'm going to drag that to a little bit more centered. Cool. So I think that looks really nice. But let's say that you're working on a website and you really want to get this published quickly. Even if you don't have a lot on that home page, your client at least wants something up there. Maybe they want like a coming soon page while you work on the rest of the site. So I'm going to remove this column. I'm going to get rid of this. So now I'm back to my row. So what I'm going to do, every time I hover in a row, I'm going to see this plus sign. This is a really powerful thing to remember here. If I hover over it, I can add a section. So a section is essentially a small template that I can put directly into any page of the website. My sections come in all sorts of different categories. So for the purpose of this website, I know I want to have a coming soon page. So I'm clicking into this category that says coming soon. And now I can see all of these pre-built sections that look pretty nice. So I think I want a timer in my section. So I see this one probably has one. So I'm clicking on that. Okay, cool. That looks good. Yeah, I think this looks really nice. So I'm going to save that. And as soon as I save a section in a website, it automatically becomes a part of this website. So let me go back to the editor. Cool. I think it looks really nice. So I have this counter here. I can right click on that and, oh, fun with the mouse. I can edit the content. So I can say I want it to end on a certain date at a certain time. I can update the text that's in there. That all looks really cool. I also notice that I have a contact form here. So that's nice. That's a great shortcut because when the site is live, even though it's still under construction, I can have anyone who comes to visit the site send me their email, and I can put that on my list for when I am ready to fully launch. I can also, in this contact form, add a field. So maybe I want that new field to say name. Cool, that looks good. I like that. Oh, probably helps if you spell it correctly. All right, looks good. And maybe I want that to be on top of the email address. Okay, I really like that. So that was a really quick way to just add an entire page onto a site really quickly. And what I can do now is I can go over to my pages and I can click in to any of these pages and maybe I want to hide it. So when somebody comes to see the site, I can still work on it in the background, but I can hide the pages that are not quite ready for view. So that's what I'm doing now. So a lot of power in that. And so now I can actually just go ahead and publish this right now if I'd like. I can continue working on this, as I said, in the background. I can go to any of these different pages. Maybe I want to work on this section next. I'm in my About page. I can add, at this conveniently, there is a section called About. Tons of different options in here. So maybe I like the way this looks. That looks good. I'm going to save it and I'm going to add another one. The next section will show up right underneath, so I can just keep going down here and adding. So that looks pretty nice. Now I'm going to go back to my home page. Because I updated this section with a little extra information on this contact form, I can go to this row and I can save this as a section. When I click on that, I can save just this row, I can save multiple rows, or I can select the full page. I'm going to do that only if I think I'll be reusing this, or if somebody on my team could benefit from dropping this into a site really quickly. So that's a really quick and powerful way to build. So next I want to jump into the widgets. So this is going to be a really good place for you, when you get into the editor, to really take a look and see everything that's available. There are a ton of different design options in here that you can, again, very easily drop anywhere on a site and update them accordingly. So a lot of good stuff in here to keep in mind. Let's talk about design for just a minute. So design is a really good place when you have a couple of features that you've added to the site to jump in and set these global design features. So let's say that you know that every time you want to add text, it should be a certain font, should be a certain size, of a certain color. You can go in here at the beginning of your build process and update all of these global design functions. And then whenever you add a new, for example, H1 text or a paragraph text, anything that you've really specified here in the global design, that's exactly what you'll see show up when you drop that into the website. So that's pretty nice. A couple of other things to mention in here. The same goes for global buttons. You can determine, what look and what color you'd like for the buttons that you add. Let's say that maybe I am really into this pink color. I think that really pops. You can see that when I made that update, any button that I have updates right there on the site. So a lot of cool stuff that you can do when it comes to design. It's pretty powerful. The next thing that I want to talk about is personalization. I think this is a really big one, especially now that we see such a huge spike in e-commerce and people really visiting websites to see what's new with the business, how they're selling, what promotions they might be offering. So personalization allows you to create your own pop-ups, your own row at the top of the site. Really, that's why we call it personalization. You can really add some great messaging for when people come to visit the site. So a lot of different options here. Every time you come into personalization, you'll have the option to build your own rule. You can also select some of these preset rules, such as a pop-up, a blank row, a notification bar. Those are all very popular. But for this demo, let's build your own rule. So I'm going to build a rule. I have a lot of different options here when it comes to my triggers. So do I want somebody only on a mobile device to see this? Do I want someone only within a certain area to see this? Do I want to show this only at during certain hours? Maybe, maybe I have like a happy hour or something that I want to really put in front of people and really promote. Do I want somebody to see this pop up the first time they come to a site, or should they see it the first 5 times? So a lot of different options here. So I'm going to start by just going by device. I can also hit multiple options here if I want to have a couple of different triggers. So let's see what happens next. Okay, so maybe I just want it on desktop and not mobile or tablet. So I'm going to go next. I like a pop-up. I think you can do some really nice design with your pop-up and really grab someone's attention. Here I can decide where I want this to be. Typically, I'd have it on the home page, but maybe I have it on the services page where I want to offer some sort of a promotion for someone who's booking a service for the first time. So really you can put this rule on any page. You can also create multiple rules. So if you want to have a row on your home page, a pop-up on your About Us page, you have a lot of different options here. I'm going to say I want this to show up immediately. I could give, a certain time. So maybe I want it to show up after 5 seconds. So there's some flexibility there as well. And then from here, I can design my pop-up. So if I click in here, I get the text editor pops up. So that's really nice. So I can stick with my bright pink color. I think that text is pretty great. I can go in here. Again, I have the text editor that pops up. I can, make this a little bit bigger if I want to. A lot of design options here. Change the font, and I'm certainly not a designer, so I apologize if this looks a little unsightly, but it is kind of fun to get in here and play around a little bit. So there we go. I think that looks pretty good. I like it, and now I'm going to say I'm done. Cool. When I go back to my pages, I see in this pop-up areas, I have my pop-up right here. And then I can rename it, I can copy it, or I can get rid of it. Excellent. Cool. So now I'm going to go back home. And I think this is looking pretty good. I think I'm really ready to show this and perhaps publish it. So my last step now is really going to be clicking through and making sure that this looks really nice on my tablet and my mobile device. So maybe before I do that, I want to add one more section in here. And I'm going to do that by hovering between the 2 rows. And maybe I want some logos, because I'm going to be working with a bunch of different brands, and I really want to showcase those. Even though we're not fully launched yet, I love the idea of having my first visitors come to the site to see, what they can expect once the site is fully launched. Okay, so that looks pretty nice. So now I'm going to go through and look at my tablet. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay, it looks pretty similar as I scroll down. Cool. Gonna go and look at my mobile, and my mobile will be pretty different because my mobile is going to stack all of the columns. So it's going to, have a bit of a different look to it that's really mobile optimized. Okay, so let's say that I'm here in mobile and I love this first part. Like, that's super powerful, that looks really nice. But then I come down here and I'm thinking, this might be a little bit too much right now. So I like this design on desktop, but I don't particularly like it on mobile. So what I can do is I can click on this row and I can go down to hide on device, and I'm going to keep it on desktop, and I'm going to keep it on tablet, but I'm going to hide it on mobile. And then that automatically goes away. I haven't deleted it, because if I deleted it, it would also disappear on desktop and mobile. So I don't want to do that. If later on I decide, now my site is fully launched, I think it makes a lot of sense to show those logos on mobile as well. I can go back here to this little eye, and I can see what's been hidden. And I can click here and I can unhide that very easily. Likewise, if I want to add something on mobile, let's say that I want to add another section on mobile, but I don't want this to show up anywhere on desktop or tablet. Maybe I'm going to put something about my company right here. I'm going to save that. I think that looks pretty great. So when I go over to desktop, you'll notice that this new section shows up. And that's not what I intended. I just wanted it on mobile. So here we're doing the reverse. We've added a new section, and instead of hiding it simply on mobile, we're going to go back and we're hiding it on desktop and tablet. And then when I go back to desktop, I scroll down and that looks great. That's gone. Again, if I want to find that, I'm clicking on this little eye. I can see that it's showing up here. I can click right on that eye on the section. I can unhide it if I like, but I'm not going to do that now. Cool. So that was pretty quick. That's a very general overview of the Oasis web editor. There's a lot in here that you can really explore. One thing actually that I will point out before handing this over to Q&A, we have a lot of options for optimizing for SEO, which is, I know it's pretty important in every single industry. But when you go through, starting with the pages, you can optimize each page for SEO. There are certain things that will default automatically. That's because we've determined that these are, kind of settings that can really help maximize your SEO value. So you have the option to not index a page, but that will always default to off. And then you can just go through here and really add these SEO fields to each page as you go through. So that's going to be available on every single page. We also have these options at the site level. So again, I'm finding SEO right here. I'm going to go, before I publish a site, make sure that I have everything really optimized as I'd like it to. Down here, you see there are two different features that are automatically toggled off. On. So lazy loading of images and widgets. This is incredibly helpful to promote a fast page speed. That's automatically toggled on. You have the option to toggle it off as well. Same here, show default fonts when custom fonts are loading. These two features really just, we found help with your SEO value. So I would say really get in here, play around. You can have a lot of fun with these templates, with these sections. It's very quick to build a really beautiful, powerful website. And there's so much that you can do in here. We have so many different options for the look and feel of a site. And I really encourage you to play around and see what you come up with.
Well, that was great. Thank you, Erin. I know for a lot of our visitors on, or attendees on today, are not actual web center owners. They're coming from some of our other divisions, like our health professional programs, our cosmetics division. So they seem to be asking some questions more related to that. So I want to let everyone know that we'll be doing some specified training on each of those divisions. But what I'd like to do now is I'm actually going to share my screen, because I will show you guys the templates that we have already started for you in your divisions. But for the web center owners that are on, this is what your clients get to use. This is the software. It's fun for you as a web center owner if you want to get your hands in there. For those that have a creative, more of a creative personality, you want to have your hands on it. It's wonderful, easy to use. You saw Erin basically build a website from scratch today in about 15 minutes, right? Yeah. So, and it wasn't just because, she's a whiz. The tools are that easy to use, right? So she showed you some really basic functions, but certainly tech support can help you over at MA Web Centers. So we have technical support, we've got customer care to help you. But for our unfranchised owners that want to see a quick glimpse of some of our digital marketing suites, let me go ahead and share my screen and I will show you what we've been up to. Right now we have this one here is really geared towards maybe TLS, right? So TLS coaches, you know, a homepage, meet me, my packages, classes, testimonials. Maybe it's a private login for classes. Someone can do an online Zoom class right from their website. This would log them in with a password. It gives them a chance to fill out a form, get fit. Hey, I want to learn more about your TLS program. What makes TLS special, right? We've got the low glycemic eating, we've got the body composition, we've got the dietary supplementation, and ongoing education. So we've built out the pages, so you don't have to build it from scratch. We've already done it for you and with you. I've been working with each of the divisions to customize these to give you at least a starting point that then you can customize moving forward. So we have a couple pages. I am still working with the TLS team to make some final edits on this one. I think one of our exciting ones that we just recently worked on together was our motives. So for our motives cosmetics, this is an area where you could actually put your own picture. So if you're a beauty brand advisor, you could put your own image there, right? If you're a makeup artist or salon owner. And then each of these hovers over to a different menu. So we have the motives blog, or if you have your own blog, you can link your own blog. Or for those that want to blog, we have our own native blogging tool right within this platform. So you could have a website with your own blog. This is a link to your social media sites, all your partnership options. I love this one. I'll showcase this on the Get the Look page. And when I look at Get the Look, this would be a place where you could actually use company generated content, or you could upload your own photo gallery of some work that you've done, but we've populated it with something if you don't have anything to start. And in your image library, you've got some great selections to use. There's a form here for how to host your own event. And these create pop-ups, which is great. So these pop-ups show little videos for your user to see how they could start their own makeup event, their own little online event. So this one is pretty much built out if you choose the Motives brand ambassador template. And the one that we're really excited about that took a lot of work is we went in and we did the Nutrimetrics DMS. So you can see that this has already been created. You don't have to build it from scratch like Erin was showing you. However, you'll be able to edit it like Erin showed you. So you can put in your own contact information. You can change certain sections, like when I go to Why Nutrimetrics, there's going to be some information that's locked in place. A lot of it is going to be the scientific information about no medical claims, right? No claims about treatments or diseases or anything like that in our product. So we had to lock that in place. But there's some areas here where, as I scroll down, there's a place where you can actually enter, instead of Dr. D's picture, you could have your own image, and you could put your own why me, my I implement statement here. It clicks over to a learn more. And under learn more, it's all about me. So you would be able to customize all of this information, your journey as a Nutrimetrics consultant. We've got some testimonials here from some of our top professionals. And I think the thing that I know Brandy Murphy and Sarah Tugenda are really excited about is in the contact page, we have already built in some information about what it means to implement Nutrimetrics into a practice, including the discovery meeting process. And then look at this. Your health professional or your prospect can go in and schedule their discovery meeting by entering all their information and answering some questions here that you would get via email, so that when you contact them to schedule that appointment, or maybe you link in a Calendly appointment book, you would actually have all that content up front so that it becomes a qualified appointment. So we tried to take the hard part out of it. We have one for unfranchised owners. We have 2 more TLS ones that we're working on. We've got a skincare, a Lumiere de Vie focused on the men's skincare line. We've got shop financial, digital marketing. So we've got about 11 more templates that we're building. So we're really excited about this entire platform. And this is really just our chance to showcase it to you. And certainly as a web center owner, this is what your clients get, but as an unfranchised owner, you could have that same technology to brand your own business. And our hope is that by using it yourself and by being in front of dental professionals, medical doctors, cardiologists, massage therapists, by being in front of personal trainers, by being in front of nail salon owners and other spa professionals, you now have a way to help them drive business online by offering the same type of service that you see through web centers, but you would never otherwise have been a product of the product unless you have had experience by having your own website through MA Web Centers. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a lot to kind of take in initially, but I guess we can answer a couple questions and answers. I've been trying to go through them as we were going along, but I know there's going to be questions as we go. So always email us at mawebcenters@marketingamerica.com. But any of you can unmute yourself and ask Aaron or myself a question, and we'll take about 5 minutes, and then we'll focus on just following up. I know there was a question. Yes, it is recorded. We will post the link to everyone, and I'll make sure that the entire field gets that.
Hi, Jason. I hope all is well. We had a great convention. Thanks for your typing too yesterday.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know. I told Sarah I got carpal tunnel. What if I wanted to like stick my hands in my pockets and say, no, 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 I absolutely love legacy. I refuse to DMS, and that's that. Will there be a point where you guys say, you know what, we're packing up 4.0 and get over it?
Well, currently we have too many. We've got tens of thousands of clients on legacy right now. So we're going to continue to host 4.0 clients for a long time. Stephen, in fact, we're still hosting 3.0 clients. The only ones that we've kind of shut down, I think there's less than a half a dozen left, are 2.0 clients. So we're going to continue with 4.0 for a long time. In our international markets, it's still the only platform they have. So I wouldn't have a concern about that.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jamie, you asked if you've already purchased a DMS site, will you be able to switch it to the Nutrimetrics template? So if you want to do that, email me, mawebcenters@marketingamerica.com. You will lose any of your content and customization to that DMS site, and you'll basically be starting from scratch. So that is one of the unfortunate things. But certainly there is a lot of value to doing that as well. But call me or email me, and we can make sure that we get that transition for you. Yeah, we don't have a way for anyone to switch off the template, because we realize that by switching off a template, they're going to lose all their content. And we don't want any unhappy clients or unfranchised owners, because that is a bad day. It's a sad day when sometimes you feel like you've lost it all. So we want to make sure we protected it, and you'll use our customer care and tech teams to help you do that. Great. Any other questions?
Yes, I do have a question. How you doing, Jason?
Great, great.
I do have currently a DMS site. So do I just get to these templates through my back office?
So the best place, and I'll tell everyone, the best place to go is if you go to mawebcenters.com. Under web design, there's a link to Oasis, and you'll be able to see all of the templates available through Oasis. There's currently over 114 templates available, with about 4 or 5 more Market America specific templates. But then when you go to purchase the DMS site, you would go to explorema.com, and there's a button where you click Start Building, and under the Select, you would select whichever template that you wanted. But you'll be able to see the templates a little bit better if you go to the Web Center page. You can certainly see a thumbnail version if you go to explorema.com, but you can't currently convert or migrate from a legacy or old DMS site to the new editor. So we are encouraging people to build out a new DMS or choose a new template, get it to where you want it to be, and then cancel the old one. Because if you try to just tell us, hey, switch it over to the Nutrimetrics template, you will lose all of the content and everything that was on your previous DMS. And I know a lot of people have put in, 10, 15, 20 pages of information. We don't want that to happen.
Right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, very good. So what we can do is if you have questions on the DMS, we're going to be doing more specific templates on how to use these in each department, each division. So we'll be doing them for TLS, we'll be doing them for Shop Financial, Nutrimetrics, Motive, Skincare, Conquer Entertainment, and Web Center owners as well. The virtual Web Center booth is going to be here every day this time, 3 p.m. Eastern time this week. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking with Adam Ferris, who's going to be going over innovation and why it's you know, a really relevant time, and what some of the things that Erin showcased, like page speed, lazy load, and what does that really mean to your client and to the future of digital marketing. So I hope you can join us. If you've got other people that you want to bring aboard, you've got the link. Any guests can join as well who might have questions about the Web Center program. We will have Gabby from our design team available on Wednesday doing a walkthrough of the design center. On Thursday and Friday, will be focused on product specialists and technical support. And then the following Friday, we're going to do a whole segment on digital marketing. So stay tuned. We're going to record all these sessions and make them available to everyone. But if you have any pressing questions, certainly email us at mawebcenters@marketamerica.com. We'll get those answered. We want to see everyone succeed. There's never been a better time to focus on digital marketing for your business than now. And I think you've realized that through this pandemic, that this is a time that you and the people that you know can leverage technology to really grow their business. So thank you, everyone. Erin, a huge thank you to you. You did a wonderful job, and we're looking forward to having some more training sessions with you as well.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. All right, I will get this recording out to everyone, and have a great week. Bye-bye. Bye, Erin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.